Okay, just under 3 minutes to go until Starships 7th. Can you believe it? Lucky number 7. Flight test. Obviously, we had some great results from Blue Origin, New Glenn earlier today. Hoping to see another catch here in Starbase of this new upgraded Block 2 Starship, Block 1 booster, Block 2 Starship, a couple of meters taller, different fin locations, testing a lot of new stuff like new heat shielding tech, like the active cooled tiles. We're going to get a payload deploy, even though it's not in orbit. They're going to be trying out deploying some Starlink satellites. So, you know, you may think, oh, 7th Fly, this is getting a bit old now. And I keep thinking that. I'm like, oh, am I going to record a new video? They keep doing new stuff. It just keeps getting more and more awesome. I reckon if all goes well on this one, they might go orbital on the next one. We'll see. But we have a minute and a half to go. And the range is green. Winds are all good. These two launches of New Glenn and Starship have been playing a will they won't they for the whole week. It looks like we're getting both of them within, you know, about 15-16 hours of each other, which is just insanely cool.
Once we hit the 30-second mark, we'll hear the flight director give the final go for launch. So we're under a minute. As we said, we're not expecting a hold at T-minus 40, but do not be shocked if that happens. It has happened in the past, and we can hang out.
Dreaded T-40 hold.
Memory serves me right.
See, we're going to go straight for it. Yep. Happy days.
All right, we passed right through that prop load gate.
Hot diggity dog.
All right, so we're going to let our...
They're reusing one of the Raptor engines from Flight 5, the booster that was caught. Raptor 314, the Pi engine, which is already awesome. Okay. I always freak out when the clock moves from there to there because I see it fading out. I think it's a hold. Right. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we going to keep the great record of going straight away? I think we are.
We have the stuff.
How does it keep doing this? Like, I know I keep saying, but geez, Raptor is reliable. And look how quickly it gets off the pad. I don't know if I'm uploading it or not. I might even just put it on the end of this video. I watched New Glenn earlier today, and my god, it lumbered off the pad. The thrust to weight ratio on that is low compared to like Starship, Falcon, Electron. And earlier today, I thought New Glenn was gonna fall back down on the pad. I can't lie. Oh, look at the cameras. Never gets old. That never ever gets old. What a view. There's already something peeling off the ship. Luckily that's not on the that's not on the heat shield side, I don't think. That's on the leeward side, but that's quite funny. This is another one where they are really planning on pushing the limits on ship recovery. On whether they make it back through. So we've heard the rumblings already that they're not expecting it to make it through, and every time they say that, the bloody thing survives. But, you know, now is the time to really hunker down and destroy some ships in the atmosphere, because you've already proven that you can land it. You've proven that the flip and burn maneuver works. So now you need to start exploring those unknowns, and it's not going to be a bad thing if we start seeing ships going pop again as they come back through the atmosphere, because, you know, you don't want to be doing this 10 or so flights down the line where you actually want these ships back and actually want to start reusing them. So now is the time to figure out these boundaries. And look at this, just another clean first stage burn. And the onboard cameras are so good. I think they've had another
A little
upgrade
under
of these
30 seconds
cameras,
away from that.
which
We are hearing good
re-entry is
call-outs
going to
on
be
the tower preparedness,
spicy.
manual checks. Reminder though, we've still got automated checkouts on the booster and the ship itself.
Coming up on hot stage. I probably will go
As of right now, our manual
a little
checks
bit.
and our manual commanding is looking go
For a catch. Probably go a little bit quiet during the boost back burn because I want to hear that call
We
out.
just
I
heard the
missed
call
it
out for
last time.
booster, engine
Nico.
cutoff.
Engine startup.
There we go.
Engines cut
Hot
off.
staging
That was
from the
great.
onboard cameras. Oh, and they're down one Raptor on the booster. But they might still be able to go for a catch even without a single Raptor out. We'll see. We'll see how conservative they're being.
All right, hot stage
Raptor chamber
confirmed.
pressure's
We've got a
nominal.
booster hopefully on our way back to us.
So let's
And
see.
a ship now making its ascent burn into space. How's it going in Hawthorne, Jesse?
So yeah, you can see bottom left, one of those Raptors on booster.
The booster is now making
Looks
its way
like it was
back
one that
down to
shut
Earth.
down during most
Looks
engine
like
cut
we
off
have
and just
12
didn't
of
come
those
back up.
13
So we'll
engines,
see.
Ignited.
But
We're using the
all
engines
6
that
ship
actually
engines
gimbal,
up.
so-
We are go for booster return.
There, go for it.
And
Perfect.
excellent
They
call
don't.
out there. Go for
I don't
booster
remember. I don't
return.
think they use those. That particular engine during the catch, so it's not too big of a deal.
A safe
So
booster
they
catch, and it sounds like we have to
go.
go for that.
Last time they weren't go for it, and there goes the hot stage ring. It was down to just some comms equipment on the tower went like boink because of the
hot stage.
force of the
And
launch.
there's a great, excellent view there
Look at
of
that
the
just
hot stage
float
floating
away.
away from the super heavy booster.
So we're on that parabolic arch now.
Now we've shut down.
So we're still
the
heading
engines for
upwards.
that boost back burn. That confirms boost back burn is now complete. That was the first of 2 burns required for the vehicle
Okay.
to make its way back down to
You can
Earth.
see that speed.
And next
It's going
coming
back
will
up.
be the
So
landing
we
burn.
are
That's
heading
gonna
back
be
to Earth.
13 of those center engines
Come on, I want to see
again.
another catch. I want to see
That
another catch, and I
will
really
then
hope it's a
go
clean
down
one
to
as
from
well.
13 down to 3
You know, the
engines.
first
Just
one we
right
heard
before
after the fact
touchdown
was
for
a
that
bit on the
booster
sketchy
catch.
side, like they were within seconds of an abort
Reminder,
criteria
our
being
stage
hit.
objectives
All this,
are to
there was
have
a
a
fire coming out the
controlled
QD.
ascent,
They
safe
took quite a
separation,
while
as
to
well as
safe the
controlled
booster
boost
before they
back
could
burn
get
and
back
hot
onto the
stage,
OLM.
as well.
It would be
So
so
we're looking good
cool
for that so far.
if they
Some
can just
great
catch
views
this
there
today. You know,
from the
clean
ship
as
of
anything.
Earth. That looks incredible.
Get it back on the OLM, detank it. I'd love to see what kind of testing they do on this as well if they do catch it. Like,
Now,
I'm
Starship's
really excited to see
ship
like the
is
first
still
static fire of
firing
a
its
quart
engines right
booster.
now.
Starship trajectory nominal.
You know,
And great
everything.
call-outs. Starship trajectory
Starship
is
keeps
nominal.
going.
You can follow along the telemetry, the altitude in the bottom
It's
left-hand
mad
corner
just
for the
how
super heavy
clean
booster,
these
as well as
look
the
now
right-hand corner for the ship.
compared to, you know, the
And
Wacky
these
Races
views
Flight 1,
are
Flight 2
just
sort of
amazing.
era. Heck, even Flight 1, Flight 2. I remember back in the days of, so the people who have been following this for ages,
Again,
because
the booster
I have,
is currently
like,
making its way back
it's been
to the
good,
tower
like, quarter of my
today.
life has been following
We're looking
Starship now,
forward
which is
to a booster
mad.
catch with the chopsticks.
But, you know, I remember following,
In
like,
the
Mark
meantime,
1,
you can see those
Mark
bridges
2,
there,
built out of, like,
helping to
absolute rubbish
control the vehicle and guide it
in a
back
tent,
to
or
its
not even in a
landing
tent.
site.
I remember the original,
Booster
like,
FTS is saved.
Now with that, we're gonna hand it back. How's it going over there, Danny?
the original
Hey,
live events where
how
they
are
were
you
saying,
doing,
"Oh yeah,
Danny?
we're gonna
Seeing that
we're gonna
in
send
person.
this Mark 1 to orbit." And when the
You
tanks
know,
were popping, and
Dan had to take that entire
just
segment
seeing
because I
this
couldn't
now,
talk.
just
That was
fully
incredible.
fledged,
We could
you know,
see the
most
booster
powerful
coming
launch
back
vehicle in the
now
world,
through
largest
the
launch
boom, at
vehicle in
least
the
it looks
world.
that way to us. It's incredible
It's
that it
insane, and we are coming back in for our
almost like a
catch.
speeding, just like
Ship
this.
Raptor chamber
Look at that
flare,
glow.
Coming back to the
That's
once
so
again, we are
pretty.
standing by for, attempting to catch
It's that
the
heat and
booster at
fury in the
tower.
engine bay
This would
because
be
they
the
don't do
second
that re-entry
tower
burn.
catch.
All the engines up, including the one that didn't light earlier.
See it 13 engines.
Okay. So it is one that they use. I was wrong. Here we
So
go.
now hovering
Looking
in
good.
alignment with the tower for
Looking
catch.
good. Let's see. Was it a fluke the first time?
In.
Are we about
Ready for that boom, Dave.
Down to 3
Are we about to make
engines.
2 for 2?
Booster ready for shutdown. Mega go ahead, top booster.
They can't keep getting away with it. These mad bastards. Like a glove. Nothing.
You heard
No big deal.
Axela has caught the booster.
Once again, for the second time,
Wow.
a successful
And look,
catch
no
by
fire.
the launch
It's
tower.
clean.
This is the same tower, the launch pad, where that
Just
booster
chilling.
took off from just 7
Just
and
rocking
a half
out
minutes
there.
ago. Great view from the chopstick arms,
So
looking
cool.
at those hypersonic grid fins
So
that steer
cool.
the booster for that precision landing. It
And I
almost
mean,
looks
you
like it's
can-
flapping its
Yeah, you
wings.
can see just
The
how
onboard
small
camera
that
looking
catch
back
fitting
up.
is too on something that's just so massive.
Wow. Stand by for star cams.
That was absolutely insane.
Meanwhile,
We're not done, but
We're
wait,
not
there's
done
more.
yet.
Look in the hinge next time they bring that camera up. I
Wow,
swear you could see
that
like
is
little
just
flames licking
absolutely
there.
Stunning.
There I go.
And this, of course,
We should be coming up
a
on
gorgeous
second
view there
stage,
from the
engine
tower
cut
looking
off.
down at the top of the booster.
About 30 odd seconds or so, just over, I think. Wow.
all right, and we are tracking.
Now we're standing by
Ooh.
for views from the ship,
down to one-
but who can take their eyes
Ooh.
off of that incredible sight.
Is there a ship issue?
That is once again the second catch of a booster.
Starship
back
engine
at
shut
the
off.
launch tower.
Engine cut off
It
was
was
scheduled
incredible
for
to see
8
it
minutes
come back
53,
down,
and they're already down on one
just
engine.
This silver flare in
Hopefully
the sky.
everything's okay. Might just be
and
one of
you
those
can
ones
still
where
see
they
the
shut
launch
down some
plume
engines early.
behind us, and wow, that we definitely.
So
I
I
can't
do
speak for
know
you, Dan,
they
but,
usually go
that
down
was very moving for me.
Yeah,
to 3 or so,
and
but
right now you can see some of the telemetry on those ship engines has gone out. And we're waiting for an update on what our ship status is.
yeah, they've not got the
approaching,
speed either.
that ship engine cutoff time. So just waiting to hear. So
Ooh,
obviously we've
interesting.
got booster back, booster on the launch tower in the chopstick arms, but we are waiting to get
All
an
eyes on
update
ship.
now on the
That's a
ship.
curveball, isn't it?
As we were expecting ship engine cutoff about 40 seconds ago. We saw some of those engines.
So this
start to
is
go
the
out prior
first
to that point.
Block 2 ship, so there's a lot of
So
changes
right
going
now
on here.
We are just standing by to try and
So there could have,
get
you
the
know, if there has
latest
been an
word
issue.
on where we are
Whew.
with ships. So stick with us for just a couple of minutes as we wait to hear some.
And we did see,
updates.
like I said, I
He
saw
just
that little,
recently
there was a
joined us.
flame. If you go
might
back,
hit rewind and go back about 9-10 minutes ago to when Starship lifted off from the launch tower that you see there. We had a gorgeous ascent.
it was.
Followed by
Yeah,
a
there was, I
separation
swear,
where
there
the
was
ship
in the, if you
separated
looked
from
in the hinge, it was
a
under the
super heavy booster.
display, the HUD
Booster
thing,
performed
but it was like
flip
a
maneuver
flame
and
licking at the
returned
hinge,
back to the
which I
Gulf
don't
Coast here.
understand
There
where
you
that
see
would
it
come
on your
from.
screen. Obviously a successful
The
catch
hinge of
back
one of
at
the
launch
flaps.
tower, which is something that we were all hoping to see.
But to go
and
this long
really
without
ask for
any
a more
telemetry
beautiful
from
background
the
with those
ship.
blue skies and blue water there.
Mm.
As Dan said, we are standing by for an update on the ship that had
Uh-oh.
ignited its engines and started making its way up to space. So standing by for more info on that. But wow, what
Joe
what an
Barnard has
experience
tweeted,
to
"Chat,
see
is the
that
ship
take
cooked?"
off, and for
think
that
the ship
booster
might
to
be
come
cooked.
back, you can see it there up close on your screen.
Oh dear.
The place that it launched from.
Let's see, let's see, let's
Once
see.
again, there were thousands of catch commit criteria, which is basically just all the things that we have to assess and evaluate, and basically make sure that they are. Make sure that everything is clear and acceptable conditions, both on the vehicle side as well as the tower side, in order to enable that catch.
All we can do is wait.
Obviously, from the last 2 flights that we have
But
done,
in
where,
all my time watching
Flight 6 we attempted, but
space
had to
flight
divert
stuff
into the ocean, and then on
and
Flight 5
launches,
we did have the
I
first
don't
ever
think there's
successful
ever been an
launch
instance
the
of
booster. We
we
used
have
the learnings
unexpectedly
of
lost
those
our
2 flights
telemetry
to hone in
that has
catch
lasted
criteria,
more than, you know, a
and
few
we saw
seconds
success today,
and
which is,
had a happy
pretty
ending.
awesome.
So,
Just a quick status check. So
Ship.
we currently do not have comms with the ship. So trying to figure out exactly when that happened and exactly what happened. So obviously the flight controllers right now going through their data, looking to make sure it's not anything instrumentation on the ship, but actually try and get us a status. So again, we're gonna keep listening in on this. We'll give you an update as soon as we have a little bit more. So for now, stage 1, back in the tower, waiting to find out a little bit more about stage 2.
God, I would wonder where the ship would come down if it did come down in one piece from that. If whatever happened wasn't a Rudd. Imagine that. But to completely lose all telemetry, because they track their telemetry through multiple means as well, because they've got like the I think they use NASA's TDRS satellites, and of course Starlink as well, and probably still at this, I don't know, maybe at this point ground radio as well before you actually get into orbit. I'm not too sure. So if they've got no telemetry, yeep. I mean, it does mean that we're getting these chances to see some beautiful shots just of the booster chilling there. That is sweet.
All right. So if you are just tuning in, we caught a booster, but we are still waiting to find out a little bit more on the ship. So it had successfully separated. We did that hot staging maneuver. We did see all 6 of ship's engines on the way uphill during its ascent. But as we were getting to the end of that ascent burn, we saw engines dropping out on telemetry, and we have since lost.
So the engines were dropping out.
The ship. So again, we're still listening in on the loops, trying to figure out
ship is cooked.
Get right now. But again, stick with us.
So,
updates as soon as we hear them.
Blue Origin had a really successful second stage, took it all the way to orbit, but weren't able to bring back their first stage. SpaceX Starship today, successful second stage recovery, weren't able to get their ship to the end of the insertion burn for their suborbital trajectory. I mean, put the two together. New Glenn's second stage with B3U engines, Starship's first stage with its 30-something Raptors.
Did we just lose communication?
We had a good run today.
So teams are actively working, trying
immensely complex and high risk.
What we can find out, and we're continuing to listen in, and
as ever, I'd love to know what happened.
But as we said before, and you can see it there on your screen, what a beautiful, beautiful sight to see another booster back at the launch tower. That was successfully caught just minutes ago after sending the ship off into space, and having seen it for the first time with my own eyeballs in person, it was pretty awesome. And the thunder-like sonic boom was really fun to experience.
So we are getting a little bit more. So we did lose all communications with the ship. So I mean, that is essentially telling us that we had an anomaly with that upper stage.
Okay.
So we're just coming up to the end of that ascent burn for the ship when we stopped when we started to lose a couple of the engines. We saw those dropping out, and then we did lose telemetry from the ship. So that means we didn't have contact with it. So at this point, we are assuming that the ship has been lost. So this was a brand new vehicle, essentially. This was
version 2.
Upgrade version. So
a lot of changes.
There's a lot of things you're upgrading, but there's a lot of things you're going to learn as all the
really want to rewind that video back and then have a look.
But at this point,
what was going on there and what the telemetry was like.
So,
again, when was the last time we had one failure in space?
Out a little bit more about what happened, and obviously we'll do.
So, hang on, Flight 1 never made its separation.
Ourselves in the coming hours and days.
Flight 2 made it sep.
a
But
little
the
over
ship-
T plus 16.5 minutes after
What happened to the
liftoff.
ship?
We
Ship
do
blew
believe
up
that we have lost the
before
ship
Seco.
during its ascent phase. It's successfully separated
Yeah.
from the Super Heavy
It's like
booster. But
three-
during that ascent phase, a couple of the engines
The
dropped
first
out,
attempt
and
at
then
bringing
shortly
it back
thereafter, we lost
through the
communication
atmosphere.
with
That was the one where it
so we
was
are assuming
spinning,
that we have lost the
because
ship,
they lost
but we are
its
standing by to confirm that, and
um,
once we can, we will.
it lost its station
but
keeping
this was a new
while
version
going around.
of the ship,
Flight
of Starship, and
4 was
it
the
was intentionally
first
designed and flown
to
in order
re-enter
to basically test the
and have a
envelope,
landing burn.
as we have done with
I
every
think.
one of these test flights. The keyword there being test.
I might be
and
wrong.
Really trying to understand
yeah,
the
5.
boundaries and the maximums for the ability
again,
of
6,
this vehicle to fly and understand where
was
those
the first
boundaries are. So
day landing
we
one
always knew
with the
that,
booster. Yeah, the booster catch
the
didn't go
excitement is
right.
guaranteed, today.
And 7 was this one.
Success
Yeah, so it is.
not
It is
guaranteed.
flight
And,
sort of
so,
2,
yeah,
flight
we are
3
standing
since we got an
by
issue
to
with
see if we can learn more about,
ship
the status of
in
the ship.
space. Interesting. I'm just listening in, but I don't think, to be honest, it sounds like we're going to hit all that much more. I mean, the engines started to drop out, and soon later, all telemetry was lost. Look at that ship just chilling there. Oh, sorry, that booster just chilling there. That is beautiful. It's crazy as well that all the weight is just being taken by 2 of those pins. Obviously, I know that in reality they're massive things, but even still. How incredible. So I imagine they will call this stream relatively soon, and we will see what post-flight ops looks like on a recovered booster again soon. Because last time obviously they had trouble. They had to let a lot of the propellant, I think, boil off before they brought it back down onto the launch mount. Today we will get to see, I guess, another one of those flows. So what did we miss out on today? Obviously, let's have a look. So yeah, we didn't make it to the Starship engine cut off. The payload down deploy. There was going to be another Raptor in space relight, and obviously all of Starship's entry with the modified heat shield tiles and all of that, the perspiration cooling. Interesting. And that firing the hinge as well, because I swear that hinge is not particularly close to things you expect fire to be. Well then. Oh, a little bit of a wobble from the booster. It's just rubbing in that it is still alive. Oh, and look at that. So that will be some kind of, I guess, safing / depress, but doing it through the Raptor engines. I think that's new. God, that is an impressive sight to behold. Nice trick. Looks like that's getting a little bit less now. I'm not too sure. So I'll get this thing safe, though. I think probably again we'll stick it back onto the OLM. We'll see if they opt to do any testing. And then, who knows, maybe some point in the next few flights, we might end up seeing, you know, a reflown booster, which would be insanely cool. I look forward to Flight 8 now. I hope they can turn it around quickly. I guess the sticking point will be the FAA. They will need a mishap investigation now. Because there is certain failure modes which are included in their launch license, which are okay and won't trigger a mishap investigation. Things like the booster offshore divert or failing during re-entry, but failing on ascent, I'm pretty sure that will now require everyone's favorite, the FAA, and the SpaceX investigation that the FAA needs to sign off on. So place your bets. Flight 8. Oh, forgive me. It is 11 p.m. here. I've been up since 5 a.m. for Blue Origin. So on that note, thank you so much for watching this. Happy Starship Day. Happy New Glenn Day. And either I will stick the New Glenn launch up in a different video, or I will pin it onto the end of this one. Maybe on the end of this one will make sense, actually, because this is going to be quite a short one now, and so was New Glenn. So, I guess, cut to me a few hours ago, earlier this morning, thinking that New Glenn was about to fall out of the sky back down on its own pad.
T-minus 230.
Okay, we are 2.5 minutes away, potentially, from the very first launch ever of Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket. Blue Origin's first orbital launch. This is really exciting. They're going all the way for a stage 1 recovery on their first launch. They have a land barge out there.
T-minus 2 minutes.
Jacqueline waiting for this first stage to potentially come back and land. And if that happens,
we're now going to be switching off the
Blue Origin will be the first, the second, first after SpaceX to possibly land first stage booster. The thing that has obviously shifted the game for SpaceX and made them so dominant and, you know, basically monopolize launch in America, and finally another company is on the cusp of it. And if you cheer for SpaceX and for like private innovation, then this is what you want to see. You want to see competition, because if you think the last few years of what SpaceX have been doing has been mental. I mean, imagine what it would be like if there's some real serious competition coming up for them. Things are going to get even more exciting over the next few years. I hope, I think, and we are 60 seconds away. Blue Origin took the slow and steady approach for this. Obviously, they've been a company since 2000. They've existed longer than SpaceX, and this is their first time trying to go orbital. So this is a bit weird, because you've got that old perspective of SpaceX sort of fail fast and all that. This has been a very slow build-up, so we're hoping for good things on this mission. Obviously, the landing is still totally experimental, but like their goal is to get orbital on this. So let's see. They've got good experience with these BE-4 engines, except they're powering, you know, ULA's rockets. Let's see if we go now. They had so many holds and stuff during the static fire. You know, getting new rockets off the pad is a difficult task. But we are 10 seconds out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Is it going to be launched? Got engine. The power up. They've gone for a liftoff. Okay. That is slow. That's slow. That seems a bit slow.
Checking for pressures are good. Vehicles cleared the tower.
Okay.
Now passing 18 seconds into flight.
Oh! It's doing 70 miles an hour. That, so...
Looks good. 27 seconds in, vehicles now begun the pitch roll maneuver to point downrange. Body rate response are nominal.
Yeah, get it downrange.
Continue to look good. Now 40 seconds.
I don't know what the thrust to weight ratio and liftoff is meant to be, but I mean, all the engines are running.
Chamber pressure.
Maybe I'm just confused. Maybe I am used to Starship and Falcon, and they are very fast off the pad. But that lumbered off the pad. I did not. I thought that was coming back down. I won't lie to
You
you.
look nominal. 1 minute
Okay.
in the play.
Okay, fine. Crisis averted, maybe. That looks so beautiful.
All 7 engines continue to look good on the first stage. Data quality.
Okay, they're saying all 7 engines look good.
Response are nominal.
I hope I wasn't the only one who had that reaction, because that looked really slow to me.
For the benefit of Earth.
Profile looks good.
This is so cool. It's a night launch, so it's difficult to see.
Now passing 1 minute.
Oh, they've got a thermal camera up.
Mach 1, new one is now supersonic.
Yeah, it's
Engines
supersonic.
continue to perform
And
well.
yep, if they're supersonic right before max Q, that tracks. That tracks, then they must be on targets. So, newsflash, New Glenn just has a really slow liftoff.
Data quality continues to look good. Chamber pressure's looking good. All 7
Pass
engines.
through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure.
So, only one other company, and the name fails me, it's a Chinese company, I think, has gone orbital on their first
Profile is good.
orbital attempt. It's a really difficult thing, and what I was trying to say is, see, Blue Origin have had so much time to work on this, and they have flight heritage of New Shepard and of flying their BE-4 engines already, so they've had a right kickstart to get this to the pad, and it looks like it is paying off for them, because it looks like they're going to make it to Miko. Touch wood.
Trajectory is nominal.
With this first booster,
2 minutes, 40 seconds.
which might land.
Approximately 30 seconds.
If they land it first time,
And here we are coming up
Chamber
on
pressure
credit to
on all
it.
7
main
Credit
engine
to it.
cutoff. Let's stand by for that.
Continue to look good. Stage 2, RCS priming.
cool.
Now passing 3 minutes. And we have Miko.
Okay, let's see if that second stage lights up.
We have stage set.
Go on. Watching the speed.
And we have ignition on both BE-3Us. Chamber
Okay,
pressure.
they're calling it out. I'm waiting to see that speed start climbing again. Maybe the telemetry. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at stage 1. I'm looking to the left at stage 1 velocity. No, they are up. Good.
Body rates look good. Data quality coming down from both stages. Looks good.
That's a good Miko and a good stage set then.
GS2 performing a pitch-up maneuver. Body rate response phenomenal. BE-3U chamber pressure continues to look good.
Fairing separation.
We have good payload fairing jettison.
Perfect.
Separation
Continue to
confirmed
perform
of
well.
the two stages.
Good. Nice to have a live camera.
Stage 2 is now
Well
continuing
done,
its launch
Blue.
flight. If up into
Now
MEO,
passing 4 minutes.
Let's see how quickly they can crank these out. That's going to be what matters now. Even if
Less than 3 minutes now remaining to
Even if they don't get make a landing on this one, what matters now is how quickly they can pick up their cadence,
That is awaiting this beautiful booster to make a landing.
start getting into a bit more of that sort of new space mindset / philosophy of fly, get it out the door, learn as you go.
On both stages. 4 minutes, 50 seconds into flight.
Come on, I need some cameras. I'm just staring at the telemetry now like a hawk. And they're at 100 miles. They are in space. This time going all the way to orbit. This is not a your standard little New Shepard launch where it just goes back down. This is orbit. Finally for Blue
5
Origin.
minutes, 20 seconds in. Less than 2 minutes now remaining to GS4. GS1 engine ignition.
Thank you again, everybody, for
GS1
joining us
has
for
reached
New
depth.
Glen's first launch to space so far. 5 minutes and 30
Really
seconds
hope,
into launch.
really hope they have like some
Everything
tracking
continues
cameras
to be
out there on
nominal.
the
A clean
on the barge.
separation of stage 1 from stage 2. Stage
I don't know what they call it. Do they call it the landing barge, landing vessel? Because obviously SpaceX call it a drone ship.
There you see its targeted landing spot.
I've forgotten what they call it. Landing vessel, I think. Jacqueline, named after Bezos' mum.
The
Which is a
Pathfinder for Blue Ring will continue
bit odd, but hey.
its mission up towards MEO orbit, where we will be collecting data for 6 hours. But let's continue to watch here as the two vehicles continue on their way.
Good, both BE3Us.
Yeah, they are tender hooks in the control room there. Oh, I hope they have some cameras out there. I really hope.
GS1 engine chill active. Less than 1 minute now remaining to exo-atmospheric engine ignition. 6 minutes, 30 seconds into flight.
So coming up here, we're going to see the middle of the three 7B4
So this is
engines on the booster.
much like an F9. You know, you do your flip, you do your re-entry burn, your atmospheric control.
On both BE3Us.
You come back down for your landing burn.
Down, and then as the vehicle gets closer to the
It would be
landing
interesting to
strip,
see if they do a
the two outer of the three middle engines
so
will shut off. And
SpaceX
just
Falcon 9 does a
one
hover
will
slam. It's
remain
not a
to help
full
slow
suicide
as well as
burn.
guide the vehicle back
Basically, a
to the
suicide
landing
burn
strip.
is when you light your
We've
engine
also
at
seen
full
on
thrust
the
at the
booster
very
vehicle,
last
we
possible
have the
second
steering fins at the
to
top
reach
of
a
the
velocity of
booster,
0
as well as
by
the
the time you
brakes,
reach
which
the
act
ground.
essentially
So
as
it's got to be
wings.
absolutely
This vehicle is
precise.
flying back to the
A hover slam
providing
is
lift,
where your thrust to
coming
weight
for a nice,
ratio
soft, and vertical
is
landing
such
onto
that
the landing
you
strip,
cannot hover.
the jack
So
plane.
when you light your engines, once you reach 0, there's no way of maintaining that. You have to start going back up, but you
All
still
three
have
engines
throttability,
relay
so you can still.
confirmed.
They've got their re-entry burn. That's great. You still have the range to adjust your landing and get a pinpoint 0. What Blue does with like their new Shepherd is they have a camera's fantastic. They have engine ignition, but they have the range of throttlability to hover. I don't know about New Glenn if it has that. If it's going to actually come down to the barge, do a sort of a slow down, hovering maneuver, and settle down onto the barge like Shepherd does, or if it's going for the full hover slam.
Seeing good MR response on
We'll
the
see.
BE3U engines. Seeing good throttle profile.
They had the re-entry burn, and there's no
Good
telemetry
burn.
coming off that first stage at the moment.
8 minutes, 20 seconds into flight.
We'll see. They named this. So you're telling me there's chance, which I just love.
GS2 tank pressures staying within their acceptable limits. Body rate responses look good. Chamber pressures look good throughout the burn. 8 minutes, 40 seconds in.
Still no telemetry off that first stage. So, and this would have been during the sort of peak of re-entry where the most forces are on it when it's coming down. The early Falcon 9 missions that had landing attempts and landings all were glowing
Now passing 9 minutes into flight.
red hot during this phase. The grid fins on Falcon 9 used to be aluminium, and as it was screaming through the atmosphere, you could see those grid fins heat up red hot. Paint would be flaking off them, bits of metal were melting and flying off it. They had to upgrade to I think it's titanium grid fins. So this part of the flight, this re-entry, is brutal on the vehicle. So if it could be a comms blackout during it, or they could have just lost it entirely.
Data quality continues to look good throughout the burn.
I'm leaning towards the fact that they might have lost it entirely, because we are sort of coming up roughly on the time where a landing should be.
Nominal.
We'll see. We'll see if they surprise us here. Here's hoping.
Less than 3 minutes now remaining in the GS2 burn.
Hey.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us.
This is just a waiting
Wow,
game
what
now.
a moment so far. We obviously have some frozen data here on our stage 1, on our booster. We're still waiting to understand what the situation is with the booster. Meanwhile, our second stage, GS2, continues
10 minutes, 20 seconds into
its
flight.
ascent, as well as
So remember, their
as it's climbed towards
main objective here is
Neo, which
getting
where it is
Orbital.
headed this evening.
Like, this company
We're
has
still
had
waiting.
24 years now, and
Our
here we go with their first orbital launch.
Primary objective, getting to orbit safely. Let's stand by here.
And it looks like they are going to achieve it. I don't know exactly when Seco is.
Tank pressure is staying within acceptable
It
limits.
should be pretty much any
Bottle
moment now.
pressures look good. Data quality continues to look good throughout the GS2 burn.
Really hope they're able to recover some footage, because I want to see what that stage 1 was going through.
11 minutes, 10 seconds into flight.
Okay.
GS2 is now 1,700 kilometers downrange, traveling at 6.7 kilometers per second.
Fantastic.
Data looks good coming down from Cedrus.
Just staring at that telemetry now.
Both BE3Us continue to look good, tracking nicely in chamber pressure. Body rate responses are stable. 12 minutes, 10 seconds into flight. We have IAP vanish. GS2 is now orbital.
Bravo. Bravo, Blue Origin. You took your time, but you made it to orbit. Let's see what you can do with that first stage next time, eh? Again, just fantastic news. And
12 minutes, 53 seconds.
if all goes well today, in
And we
15
have everything cut
hours,
off.
less than 15 hours, we could be having Starship Flight 7.
Body rates look good following engine cutoff.
Thank
Let's
you
see
again,
if they say
everybody, for
anything about
joining
the
us.
first stage.
Seco,
First go.
we
Coast to
shut
Cedrus.
off the
And I
cut
wanna
off
see.
the engines on the second stage. What does that mean? That means that we hit our key critical #1 objective. We've
Orbit.
got to orbit safely. Congratulations, Blue Origin. Y'all have got orbital.
Well done. Welcome to the club.
What a day. You see our team down in Huntsville, our teams in Kent.
Wow.
I know the team out at Cart Park down here in Florida. They are all losing their minds. Congratulations, everybody.
That is
What a day.
quite something.
We are in
Orbital on your first try.
Ready to warm up, ready to start drawing in all of that great information. What a day.
Fantastic. Haha, I'm Frost we trust.
We're gonna go to Cart Park here. We have Eddie Seifert.
14 minutes, 10 seconds into flight.
Well done indeed.
Orion, we are so happy to be here at Rocket
Right.
Park. Our orbital
Blue Origin's
tonight.
first
This team is so proud that
orbital
we got to
launch.
orbit.
They made it to orbit the first time. Something obviously on the first stage during the re-entry,
Such an experience.
but that's not to be unexpected.
To be a part
Hopefully
of
next
this
time,
team.
you know, the same mentality that we've seen transform the industry is,
Amazing.
you know,
can feel
fly,
the
fail,
energy.
fix. They did exactly that today. They got their goal of going to orbit. They've probably got a ton of data on first stage, so now they can iterate. You know, what we want to see now is better next time. Orbit's now the expectation, though, and better next time on the first stage. Let's see if we can get at least to the landing burn, hey? Thanks so much for watching. I will probably see you in a bit for Flight 7.
All of the information.
Ta-ra.
I want to make sure that we get you the right information. But nonetheless, the main objective that we were going for this evening is that we hit orbit. And now I do have confirmation that we did in fact lose the booster